In this, I'm not sure what they're meant to be, because this character isn't to be confused with Slug,
our hacker extraordinaire,
who is also the exact opposite in the same show. I'm really confused.
There's also way too much focus on the LGBTQ community by the fandom in a negative manner, and it just needs to go away, I think, for a healthy story to grow, and for Riri to really share her limelight with fans.
Natalie AI thing seems utterly preposterous and ridiculous, and even for an MCU show, I'm finding it to be a little bit of a bridge too far to go. The heist crew, all lame. Every single one of them, all lame.
What about the impacts that she's having on young Black girls? And I'm going to be completely honest, on Black women.
You know, this is yet another area that's getting vibrant. It's getting full in the way that it should.
Might be one of the worst executed ideas ever in the MCU, because under all that garbage was actually potential.
Ironheart is practically unwatchable.
This show basically keyed their car, their mom, and in their bowl of cereal.
He deserves your attention. Ironheart deserves your attention. That's how I knew. I was like, oh, they are desperate to get people to watch this show. After I did my reaction, I kept getting, hey, it wasn't that bad. I just watched it. Hey, I just watched the first 3 episodes. It wasn't that.
They said she'd be the next Iron Man, a bold new face, a brilliant young genius, the future of the Marvel Universe. Instead, she vanished. No trailer, no press release, no Comic-Con announcement, just nothing. And now, whispers are turning into confirmations. Chinaka Hodge, the very showrunner who was supposed to lead Ironheart into Marvel's next era, is gone. And insiders are saying she didn't leave. She walked out.
Ironheart is practically unwatchable. Toot toot, Jerry laughs. Yes, there is an alphabet character. They admit Ironheart sucks, but look, they're getting ready to blame you for it, because Ironheart fulfills low expectations with weak narrative, poorly written characters, and dull act.
Behind the scenes, a disaster was quietly unfolding. And Dominique Thorne, the rising star Marvel pinned its hopes on, fans are calling her one of the biggest miscasts in MCU history. Ironheart wasn't just delayed, it was allegedly buried. And what led to that collapse? Was it ego, studio panic, or a performance so off-key it shattered Marvel's master plan? Let's pull the curtain back.
To really reckon with what that means for the life that she wants to lead.
It's very short-lived. It's brushed over really quickly, and she kind of reverts back to her old self.
But one thing is for certain about this series is that, old agendas aside, let's be very real about this. There's a lack of character development. The directing, the producing, the writing is just way off. It makes no sense at all, and it's very lackluster. There's no depth to it.
Does it defy the haters? Or is it another skippable series? It's always about you, right? It's always about the audience. It's amazing. It doesn't matter if it's the 2024 election or whether it's a Disney streaming product. It's always about, like, how evil is the actual voters? How evil are the audience?
When Avengers Endgame closed the curtain on Tony Stark, Marvel needed a successor. Enter Riri Williams, a genius-level teen who builds her own iron suit in a dorm room, a perfect setup for the new generation. Marvel rushed her into the spotlight with a debut in Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. The idea? Build hype, drop Ironheart on Disney Plus, and ride the momentum into Phase 5.
Yeah, and it's like the real Tony Stark. It's like back somehow, and there's like a moment where she's flying through, and he's like, "Who's that?" And she's like, "I'm Ironheart, Mr. Stark." And he's like, "I like that girl." And then he like goes to do something else. Like, that would be like the level of something that I think would possibly happen.
But fans weren't convinced. Some praised the idea. Others said it was rushed, poorly developed, and missing the spark that made Tony Stark unforgettable. Then came the leaks, test screenings, crew whispers, all pointing to one truth. Ironheart wasn't working. And Dominique Thorne, she was right in the center of it all. Dominique Thorne had everything going for her. A Marvel debut, a multi-season arc, a chance to become the new face of the franchise. But what fans saw on screen wasn't inspiring. It was awkward. Critics called her performance wooden. Lacking nuance, fans said she felt like a background character in her own scenes. Reddit threads broke it down line by line. YouTube breakdowns labeled her delivery robotic, forced, even miscast. And worst of all, she had no real chemistry with the rest of the cast, no spark, no heart. Just cold, formulaic line reads that made even Marvel loyalists cringe. Social media wasn't kind. Memes flooded TikTok. Hashtags like #NotMyIronheart began trending. And Marvel, they went quiet. You'd think a project this important would be everywhere. trailers, interviews, Comic-Con panels. But Ironheart disappeared. No sizzle reel, no promo, no hype. Industry insiders started whispering that the project had quietly been deprioritized. Scripts were reportedly a mess. Direction changed mid-shoot. Even costume designers allegedly leaked frustration about last-minute changes and inconsistent tone. According to one crew member, the show had no center. Just vibes, noise, and Marvel jargon glued together by reshoots. Worse still, budget cuts. With Disney Plus bleeding money, execs allegedly slashed the post-production budget for Ironheart. VFX teams were pulled, deadlines moved, and the end result, a show Marvel no longer believed in. Chinaka Hodge was supposed to be the brain behind Ironheart. Marvel hyped her up as a bold new voice, someone with edge, vision, and a unique tone that could shape a new generation of heroes. Her background was impressive: a poet, playwright, screenwriter, someone who didn't come from the same Hollywood assembly line. Marvel wanted fresh blood, and Chinaka was it. But somewhere along the way, the relationship broke down. Insiders allege Hodge clashed with Marvel higher-ups from the start. They wanted polished, safe, MCU-flavored content. She wanted to dive deeper, make Ironheart something more grounded, more personal, more real. The final straw? Rumors say it was the rewrites. Multiple drafts, endless feedback loops, studio notes that stripped away character arcs and replaced them with one-liners and flashy set pieces. And when Hodge pushed back, she was told to fall in line. Eventually, she stopped showing up to key production meetings. Some say she took her name off parts of the final edit. Then, without warning, she dropped out. Quietly. No Marvel blog post, no cast goodbyes, no red carpet farewell. And when asked about it months later on a podcast, all she said was, "That chapter's closed. And I'm proud of what I learned." No celebration, no promises for season 2. Just done. Marvel didn't issue a correction, didn't deny her departure, didn't even acknowledge it. And that silence, that's how fans knew. Ironheart wasn't just in trouble, it was over. By the time Ironheart was in post-production, Disney Plus had already become a graveyard of forgotten Marvel experiments. What started with WandaVision, a groundbreaking, buzzworthy launch, quickly spiraled into mediocrity. Loki was decent, Moon Knight was messy, She-Hulk became a punchline. Then came Secret Invasion, a series so incoherent it made fans question the entire MCU timeline. Marvel wasn't innovating anymore, they were just pushing content. Rushed timelines, conflicting creative visions, and a quantity over quality strategy that left even hardcore fans burned out. And Disney, they noticed. Bob Iger himself reportedly ordered a pullback. Less content, smaller budgets. Only the projects with clear profitability would survive. Ironheart, a show with no confirmed season 1 release date, no merchandise traction, and zero fan hype, was allegedly one of the first to get axed from future plans. To make matters worse, Ironheart didn't have any real anchor. No Benedict Cumberbatch, no Elizabeth Olsen, no crossover to prop up the hype. It was a standalone, and in a franchise built on shared universes and cameos that made it vulnerable. One Disney insider reportedly said, "There's no plan to promote Ironheart right now. It's in limbo. It could drop, or it could disappear." And in the world of streaming, when a studio doesn't promote something, that's not strategy, that's damage control. While fans were waiting for updates, Marvel had already seen the numbers, and they weren't pretty. Ironheart had allegedly been screened for small groups in early 2024. According to multiple sources close to the production, the audience feedback was brutal. One quote from an internal report leaked to fan blogs said, "Test scores were below She-Hulk and barely above Inhumans. General sentiment, boring, forgettable, unfocused." Even casual viewers, those who usually just show up for the action, were confused. They didn't connect with the tone, didn't understand Riri's motivations, and Dominique Thorne's performance, described as flat, unengaging, and unready to lead. This wasn't just disappointing, it was catastrophic for Marvel. Because in the current climate, every release needs to hit. Studios can't afford meh anymore. And Ironheart wasn't just meh, it was scoring dangerously close to unwatchable. Even worse, the target demo, young audiences Marvel wanted to hook, wasn't interested. Gen Z viewers didn't stick around. Social media posts related to Ironheart got significantly fewer shares and reactions than even canceled shows like Runaways. TikTok edits were full of sarcastic captions and low-effort memes. YouTube creators mocked the tone as stiff and out of touch. And when viewership before release is already that bad, the studio starts asking, is it even worth releasing? Internally, Marvel allegedly considered 3 options. Quietly dump the series on Disney Plus with zero marketing, re-edit it into a supporting arc for Armor Wars, shelve it entirely, and claim scheduling conflicts. No matter what they choose, the damage is done, the numbers don't lie, and Ironheart was never going to be the hero they hoped for. For Dominique Thorne, this was supposed to be her breakout. Instead, Hollywood insiders are now whispering the most dreaded word: liability. It's not about talent. It's not even about potential. It's about baggage. Casting Thorne in anything Marvel-related now comes with a headline risk, a social media storm, a Remember Ironheart wave of mockery. Her Instagram has gone silent. No Marvel shoutouts, no behind-the-scenes hype, just radio silence. She didn't write the scripts, she didn't direct the show, but in the industry's eyes, she became the face of the failure. And that shadow? It follows actors longer than bad reviews ever will. In a now-deleted podcast clip, Chinaka Hodge was asked about Ironheart. Her answer? That chapter's over, and I'm proud of what I learned. It was brief, careful, but in the ears of every Marvel fan paying attention, it sounded like a soft confession. No defense of the project, no promises, no hint of what's next, just closure. Fans on Reddit and X instantly picked up on it. She just confirmed it. One post read, another quote that went viral, Marvel's burying Ironheart like a bad memory. No denials from Marvel, no press statement, no correction, and when a showrunner walks away like that, it's not just over, it's erased. So here's the burning question, will we ever see Ironheart? According to multiple leaks, Season 1 is done. It exists. Somewhere. But insiders say Marvel has no rollout plan, no streaming date, no press junkets. There's speculation it may be chopped up for a cameo in Armor Wars, or reworked into a supporting storyline in another series. There's even talk that the entire show might be soft-dropped at a random time. No trailer, no premiere, no context, just to fulfill contractual obligations. Imagine that. A billion-dollar brand reduced to dumping a series in the middle of the night like it's toxic waste. And for fans who actually believed in Riri Williams, that's the cruelest part. The character deserved better. The actress deserved guidance. The show deserved vision. What it got was corporate chaos. Ironheart could have been something special. A powerful young black lead. A genius tech prodigy. A symbol of where Marvel's future could go. But instead, it became the story of what happens when a studio tries to manufacture lightning in a bottle and forgets to add the spark. Chinaka Hodge's quiet exit. Dominique Thorne's silent retreat. Marvel's complete radio silence. All signs point to the same truth. Ironheart wasn't canceled loudly. It was erased quietly. And in the wreckage, fans are left wondering what happened to the studio that once made gods out of unknowns. That turned niche characters into global icons. Now, it's a franchise grasping for relevance. And Ironheart? She never got the chance to fly.